everyone. So welcome to episode number 23. Today I want to talk about what I believe to be the most common question a home seller will ask their realtor. Should I update my home before listing it on the market? So the answer to the question is extremely varied among real estate professionals. You're going to have many people that will tell you yes and many people that will tell you no. My answer really lies somewhere in the middle. I believe that it is dependent upon three different factors: the market, your neighborhood, and your home. So with the market, if it's a seller's market, right? If it's a great time to sell, right? We always hear that term. Then chances are strong that you probably don't need to do a lot, if anything, to your property. But I will caution you this: always ask your realtor, is my home truly a part of the seller's market? Is my price range that I'm trying to get out of my home, that I'm trying to fit into, is it a part of this hot market? Because one thing I have noticed is the term seller's market and hot real estate market is thrown around a lot by the news media and realtors. And again, that is not always true with every price range. The second factor would be your neighborhood. If you live in a neighborhood that attracts a lot of home flippers or rental properties, then that means your neighborhood attracts a lot of investors. So investors are a totally different breed than the typical type of home buyer. They are really just out there looking for the best deal, right? They only care about their bottom line and there is no emotion involved. Whereas with a traditional homeowner buyer, a lot of times emotion is involved in the deal. They'll walk through the property and they'll find a particular selling feature that they fall in love with and they can't live without, and they'll move heaven and earth to get it. But with an investor, it's not the same story. So let me give you an example. I had a listing last year, and before I went over for the listing appointment, the seller had ripped out the carpet in the living room, and he said to me at the appointment, I'm gonna need your help on figuring out what to put down for the flooring. And I said, don't do anything. I realized that it's the subfloor, it's just concrete, but investors are attracted to your neighborhood and they're not gonna care. And guess what? It saved him a couple of $1,000s, and we sold the property to an investor. So you can always save a lot of money up front if you live in a neighborhood that attracts those investors. And just keep in mind, they don't care about the cosmetic details like a traditional home buyer would. So the last factor would be your home itself. So if you live in a property that you take care of, you love it, you maintain it, you keep it clean and neat and tidy, you fix anything that's wrong with it, but maybe it's a little dated, right? Maybe your kitchen is stuck in 1992 or your bath in 1985. I don't know. But let's say everything works and it's just a cosmetic thing. You can choose to sell it at a price that reflects that and save yourself the money up front. Or maybe you could do a couple of updates to it that would enhance those things without having to take on a full-on remodel. It's always my goal to save my sellers as much money up front as possible. So I typically won't advise anybody to do a full-on renovation before selling their home. I just think that nowadays, with everybody being a designer, right? Everybody likes to watch HGTV and DIY. Everybody's got an opinion on how they want it to look. Well, you'll never know if what you're placing inside your kitchen or your bath or with your flooring that the next buyer is gonna like. So here is a story to end on. There was a home in my neighborhood that sold recently. I did not work with the buyer or the seller, but the property was in a position where I was driving past it, every day, a couple of times. So I could see what was happening, and I noticed a few weeks before the sign went into the yard that the sellers were removing a lot of their old flooring and putting down new carpet. So fast forward about 8 weeks. The new homeowners have closed and taken possession of the property, and I see that they are now removing all of that new carpet in the home. So I thought, what a waste. Those sellers wasted thousands of dollars on that home for no reason, because those buyers knew before they walked in, probably, we hate carpet, we're gonna put down hardwoods or tile or whatever. So keep that in mind, especially when it comes to the more pricey updates. Now, I definitely think that there's some small things that you can do to your property, like paint, like changing the door hardware, or changing your window coverings. I mean, Target sells really beautiful curtains. And also the last one would be changing your lighting fixtures. That goes a long way with sellers, especially female sellers. Women are drawn to beautiful features in a home, and a more inexpensive way to tackle that and to achieve that would be with a new lighting fixture. So Home Depot and Lowe's actually has great products at a very reasonable price. So I would always encourage you to start there if there are a few things that you want to do to enhance the look of your home. As always, keeping things clean and keeping things tidy and staging your home well and staging it smartly go a really long way in the real estate transaction. As always, I really appreciate you watching. I will see you guys next week. If you have a comment, if you have a question, please leave it below. And if you have a real estate need, I would love the opportunity to earn your business whenever you're ready. Thanks for watching. Bye.